I'm back. Come on. Come on in and say hi. I'm on 2 lives, my personal page and my Inner Healing and Deliverance group. Come on, say hi. Let's talk about it real fast. I don't have a lot of time because I have a session real soon. But I want to share some knowledge with you that is so important. I just put a post up that says, if churches really want to help people heal, they have to become trauma informed. I love preaching, I love teaching, but there's a level of pain that we have to be informed, skilled, taught, learned, trained to know how to heal. And trauma is a big issue in the church that I feel that is not being talked about or not being addressed. So I'm here to address it. Come in, say hi. Most of you know me. Share. I'm not going to be long. Pastor Timothy Lane, therapist, author, trainer, founder of God Therapy, Inner Healing and Deliverance, counseling, ministry and training. I also have a book coming out that I'm excited about, Healing Trauma God's Way. Okay, let's talk about healing hidden trauma. Let's talk about this. Come in, say hi. I'm sorry, I can't wait for all y'all to come in. Phoebe, bless you. Good to see you. I can't wait because I have a session coming up, so I got to get right into it. But bless you all. Angeline, bless you. Good to see you. Please say hi and share. Okay, so a lot of people are suffering from trauma and don't realize it. And we have what I call blaming the devil syndrome. The devil this, the devil that. Everything is not the devil. The devil can be involved, but everything is not rooted in what the devil did. All right? If you can hear me, say I can hear you. If you can't, say you can't, because I'm just going to go real fast. So a lot of people are suffering from trauma and they don't realize that what they're dealing with is directly connected to something traumatic that happened to them in their past, in their mother's womb, or they were children. Just because you remember it doesn't mean it didn't affect you. Just because you didn't remember it don't mean it didn't impact you. Just because you don't remember it don't mean it's not still living the pain of it. It's not still living within you. You don't have to remember it for it to have an effect on you. All right. And what's so important is to understand that you cannot heal what you're not aware of. I believe it's James 5:16 says, first of all, you have to confess your faults or confess your issues and then pray for one another that you may be healed. The confession is to bring it into the light, is to bring it into awareness. But without the confessing, there is no healing. So it takes the realization in order to bring the healing or the wholeness. So a lot of people are not aware that their current struggle, their current issue, their current challenge, their current relational problem, their current defect is directly connected to trauma. A lot of people grew up traumatized, but sometimes we normalize the traumatized. We normalize the trauma. You know, we just got beat growing up, and that's what they did. They just beat us, or we just yelled and screamed at each other. So it's actually verbal abuse. But sometimes we normalize trauma in our culture, in our family. All right. So what I call it hidden trauma. So, you know, we usually focus on the big stuff like molestation or rape or domestic violence or abuse or tragedy or loss. We usually focus on the big stuff, but it's not just about what happened to you. A lot of times it's about what didn't happen. I think y'all missed that. It's not just about what happened to you, but what didn't happen can cause trauma. Abandonment and rejection is a form of trauma. Let me say that again. Abandonment and rejection, what mommy or daddy didn't do when you were growing up, is a form of trauma. You not experiencing provision and growing up in poverty, you not being picked up and comforted as a child when you cried, or you not experiencing love and affection, or you being ignored, or not being validated or affirmed, or being isolated, and not being exposed to healthy social environments and interactions actually can cause trauma. You being the bad kid in the school, labeled the bad kid and just put in the corner and isolated from everybody else, is a form of trauma. I had a client recently, this week I had a client who was affected by trauma and didn't know it, because her father provided, but he wasn't present. He provided, but he wasn't present. And her current issue was directly connected to the trauma of her dad not being present. But it was hidden because in her mind, he provided for me, but he just wasn't there, But sometimes we minimize the impact of what happened to us. And it really impacted her. All right. So you have covert trauma. Let's call it covert trauma, or let me call it, Webster going to have to update the dictionary, because I'm going to call it passive trauma or covert trauma, as opposed to aggressive trauma, those things that we're aware of. Somebody did something, somebody hurt me, So when you've been traumatized, especially with hidden trauma, see, demon spirits like to dwell in hidden places. Demonic spirits like to reside in hidden places. I remember growing up as a kid, we used to like to go into the woods and search for critters, all types of critters. And what we would do, we would find a log or we would find something and we would roll it over. And it was so exciting to us because it was all types of critters that was hiding underneath that object. And demonic spirits like to hide under stuff. And one of the things that demons hide under is hidden trauma. And a part of deliverance is exposing the root wounds of the trauma so that you can bring healing. Right? So when you've been traumatized, you usually become demonized. But deliverance alone does not heal trauma. Usually, deliverance alone, renouncing and all that other stuff and saying that deliverance prayer, usually it does not heal trauma. Trauma usually requires treatment. It requires inner healing. Then once you bring healing to that wound, then you can do deliverance. So a lot of deliverance people get it wrong, and then people go through the revolving door of deliverance because they think I just go through deliverance and it's going to fix all my wounds and my hurt, and it really doesn't. You got to get healed. That's what the Bible says. He heals the broken heart. It didn't say he delivers the broken heart. He heals the broken heart. Healing is a process. Deliverance is the act of casting a demon out. That's really not that complicated. But healing is a process. Somebody says, what do you mean by treatment? What I mean by treatment is taking someone through the process of healing. Right? It's a strategic process to medicate or to cure that particular wound. Okay. It's 1:47. I've talked longer than what I wanted to because I have a session soon. So I got to prepare. Love you all. I wanted to share this thought. Please share. And I'll see you all again. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Pray for me. I'm excited about my book coming out. I can't wait. I am so excited. Healing Trauma God's Way. I can't wait. All right, I'm done.